So we'll start with the module 1, in which we have introduction to the design of machine elements 1 with the code 18ME52. Coming to the tension test usually done in a universal testing machines, we can see the stress strain diagram for the ductile material and the brittle materials as shown in the slides. So you find uh, stress is proportional to strain. Okay, then yield points, ultimate stress, values, all these things you can see in this sketch. Following information that we can gather from the tensile test graph, proportional limit, elastic limit, modulus of elasticity, yield strength, ultimate tensile strength, percentage elongation, percentage reduction in area, modulus of toughness, modulus of engineering materials are classified into metals and alloys, non-metals and composites. Under metals and alloys, ferrous metals and alloys, non-ferrous metals and alloys. Under non-metals, we have wood, glass, rubber, leather, asbestos, plastics, etc. Under composites, we have reinforced composites and particulate composites. So, criteria for selection of material is based on availability of material. It means it should be readily available in the market. Next is the cost. Cost must be minimum for the material as well as for the processing. Mechanical properties. It depends on the service condition and functional requirement. Suitable materials to be selected. Example, connecting rod of IC engine, which requires a very high endurance strength. For the shaft, it requires high rigidity. Bearing, it should have a low friction. Clutch and brake lining should have high friction material. Piston ring should have a high surface hardness. So material selection is very much important in case of design. What are the manufacturing considerations? So in the manufacturing we do machining, casting, rolling, forging, extrusion, welding and other manufacturing operations. So now let us see what are the manufacturing considerations in machine design. Uh, we should have a very basic knowledge about the manufacturing processes that usually we do for the uh, mechanical components. So we should know about the primary shaping processes. What are the shaping processes like casting, forging, extruding, rolling, drawing, bending. Second is the machining processes which involve turning, planing, shaping, drilling, boring, reaming, sawing, etc. Third is the surface finish processes that we usually do, polishing, buffing, honing, lapping, all these things. Fourth is the joining processes that we do like welding, riveting, soldering, brazing, screw fastening, pressing, sintering, etc. Fifth one is the processes affecting change in properties like so with all these heat treatment, hot working, cold working. So all these manufacturing processes uh, will change the material properties as well as the mechanical properties. So one should be very careful about uh, the the manufacturing processes that they adopt while designing a component. We'll come to the standards in design. What are standardization? Standardization is the obligatory norms which various characteristics of product should conform. Or we can see that it is a set of specification for parts, materials or processes that we usually adopt in design. So every process that we adopt in design or a material should follow some standards. So what are these actually, which includes materials, dimensions, quality of the product, method of testing, method of making, packing and storing of the product. So everything should have some standards in design. Following standards we use in design. Standards for materials, their chemical composition, mechanical properties and heat treatment. Standards for shapes, dimensions of commonly used machine elements. Standards for fits, tolerances, surface finish of the component.
standards for testing of products. So everything should have, including the engineering drawing of the component. So all these we next types of standards that we follow. So international standards, usually international standards of organization ISO, national standard like BIS, Bureau of Indian Standards, company standards usually they have their own standards in the manufacturing and other processes. So what are the objectives of standardization? First is to make a mass production. So components are easily available for the mass production. Second is interchangeability of the components because of the standards. Standardized products are better quality and more reliable. Service life usually will increase with this standardization. As the standard parts are easily available, maintenance is also easy. Time and effort required to manufacture a new machine is in a short span of time. So all these are the advantages of going for a standardization. Coming to the codes, what are these codes? So we have seen the standardizations, standards. So each code is for the analysis, design, manufacture and construction of some mechanical components. So what are these? Purpose of a code is to achieve specified degree of safety, efficiency and quality. So who will give these codes? There are some societies and organizations which will set the standards and codes for the particular components like Aluminum Association, American Gear Manufacturers Association, AGME, American Institute of Steel Construction. So like this, there are many organizations and societies will give the specific code for the specific uh, functions. Some test codes for under ASME performance we have. For steam turbines, ASME PTC6. For centrifugal pumps, we have ASME PTC 8.2. Like this, we have for all type of machines and mechanical components. There are some ASME performance test codes to be passed. So, which is very important as far as the safety of a product is concerned.